Okay, trying to get comfortable so I can tell you the story of Pismo. So Pismo 2024 was a great experience. Once again, I took my son with me. We left Stockton kind of in the afternoon. We are just leaving the house. We are off, we are running. We have 4 hours to go. We're gonna get there in the dark, that's okay. I don't know, I don't think I turned on the tail lights. I'll pull over. Brody, quick interview. It's a Friday, Saturday. It's only 3 days stuck with your dad. How bad is it? Give me a scale of 1 to 10.
6.
It's a 6? 10 is like, you want to kill yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, we're at a 6, that's good, that's good. All right, we'll check back in 2 hours. First off, what are we listening to, Brody?
We're listening to Cruise of Dreams.
We're listening to Cruise of Dreams because Brody's on like a Caribbean cruise kick, or has been. I gotta turn that. I can't. Okay, we'll just pause it. Then we can. we're 2 hours in. You had a good playlist going for a long time. I enjoyed. That was a good playlist. This playlist, not so much. It's not good. I don't. Tell me where did your fascination with cruise music come from?
It's just.
Or Caribbean music. I'm not.
It's from a game.
It's from a game. What's the game? That's right.
I don't know.
You don't remember the game?
No.
So it's a game you don't remember, and it's video game music, and it's not good. I don't know if there is good video. There's probably good video game music, but that is not, in my opinion. Anyway, we're 2 hours in. Everything's going great. The tow bar is working good. There's not a lot of traffic. We're not going to get there till about 8:35. Which is okay. It's gonna be dark, and I'm hungry, but Brody is down to drive all the way there, and we're not eating until we get there, so we're on a mission. I'm pretty sure, I wonder when the ice cream place closes. Brody, anything to add?
No.
Anything?
No.
Wait, I feel like you're anti-video right now because of why?
Music.
You want to listen to music? I don't want to listen to any more Caribbean music, any more cruise music. It's a cruise playlist for like half an hour, and it's all terrible. Every song is... The next song is worse than the last song. Still on the way there. 2 more hours. 2 hours to go. Skip. 2 more hours. 2 more hours. All right. 3 hours in. Whew, 3 hours. I was using a new way of towing the buggy. So flat towing the buggy was super easy. And also I will say that the wireless trailer lights, they sell them at Harbor Freight, were a success. They were easy to use. I used them with no problems. Get to Pismo probably 8:30. Almost 9 o'clock. Not having a trailer was actually made it a little bit easier. Brody and I went to this kind of steakhouse that I like in Pismo. The next morning was at Rugged Radios. It was a big group of people, big turnout. I would say you had 3 different runs to go on, and we chose a run that took us to, it's called TV Tower Road. And it was described as a road that we were well aware that there was parts that were unpaved. So I thought that meant a dirt road, but not, super gnarly. And it, honestly, for a regular off-road vehicle, modern truck, a Jeep, something that's supposed to go off-road, this would have been no big deal. A couple of potholes, some ruts, some eroded, roads. It was like a fire road. So like for a dirt bike, you could have flown up this thing. I used to trail ride dirt bikes, no problem, if you've got decent suspension travel. For a dune buggy on stock suspension, it was really rough. Not rough enough to where you couldn't make it, but rough enough to shake your teeth loose. The guy leading the pack, I didn't catch his name, but he's driving a fully built, fully prepped off-road, like tube chassis dune buggy that he could probably have done it at 100 miles an hour. But in my little car, it was an adventure. It was definitely an adventure. It was an experience. Anyone with a stock suspension buggy felt it when they were done. Beautiful scenery, as you can see. We were up in the Irish Hills near Pismo. Just super beautiful scenery and awesome people. Every person there was willing to help you. My little surfboard rack kind of shook apart. I was losing nuts and bolts, and the blanket that covers my, that acts as kind of my roof was coming undone. I'm really proud of my car for holding up as well as it did. At about the midpoint, Brody and I had enough of rough roads and we were ready to take a break. I wish I had gone to the beach instead because I had heard that a small group of people were going to the beach. We chose one of the runs instead with 20 or so other buggies. It was an adventure and it added to the trip as far as sense of adventure. Like, is my car gonna survive this? And it did. I think the only thing that I broke was somehow a turn signal shook loose, and I think maybe my wheel going over a pothole might have squished the turn signal bulb and the actual turn signal lamp. If that's all that broke, that's pretty good. And then lost a lot of nuts and bolts from my roof rack, which again, I was able to find them all. The trail ride, the event ride we went on was a lot of fun. Tons of people, met a lot of great people. One of my favorite parts was kind of figuring out what my buggy was. There was I think it was a whole family of people, and they had like a Baja and a really cool, like a lemon yellow buggy. And I'm looking at this car, and I had seen it at Rugged Radios, and I'm like, this looks exactly like my car's body. And the main things you can look at, I guess the dash is a telltale sign, the hood, and then the back end. The fenders are kind of hard to tell on a lot of cars. The part right above the engine, where the tail lights are and just above the engine, I have kind of a squared off like design. My hood has a ridge and has a certain shape to it, and I really like the shape of my car. And then there's an indentation below it for a license plate, and those are kind of unique to that car. So I asked her, I said, do you know what body you have? She goes, yeah, it's a Sears and Roebuck Rascal. She was really certain. I think she's right. After the ride, Brody and I kind of just hung out and then went back to Rugged Radios, and they had a kind of closing ceremonies. And that's where I got to meet a lot of people that I kind of have met through Instagram. Two different guys that have brought their sons. I just know them through their pictures on Instagram, and I got to meet them in person, and they were awesome, and they were super energetic and positive and had kind of the same energy as everybody else, and just happy to be there and happy to talk about dune buggies. That's really my favorite part, was getting to meet people. I met some other people that knew Bruce for a long time, that lived near Bruce, knew like the whole story of the dune buggy since the beginning, and were just enthusiasts and had dune buggies, and I got to talk to a lot of people. But I did have a lot of great conversations with just the history of the club, and just the overall vibe again was just super warm, super welcoming. I think the event went really well. I wish I had gotten to the beach and driven on the beach. One of the guys I met, his son was learning how to drive stick. They drove on the beach for the first time, which is awesome. I was a little bit jealous. I was like, man, I should have gone on the day we went up the dirt road. Was probably the day I should have just gone to the beach and just driven around on the beach. And they got some great footage in the evening. I think that was Friday night. And then there was a big group picture Sunday, but we had to leave. So I wish I could have stayed a little longer, but Brody had stuff to attend back home. So we hit the road Sunday morning early. The weather was perfect. We couldn't have had better weather. It was warm. A few days were, maybe a little bit chilly, but it was no rain whatsoever. I brought a tarp. I tarped my car anyway, just in case, and everything started and ran perfectly. So I'm super grateful to have gone. Fingers crossed, hopefully I'll make it to another event this year. They announced the 60th anniversary of the buggy, of the Meyers Manx, is happening, and the celebration is in Big Bear this year, and that's going to be a really big show, and I'm hoping to go to that. I don't know if I'll be able to talk Brody into going to that. He was a good sport. We had a good time, but again, this is my hobby and not his hobby, so I don't know. I'll ask him to go. I'm hoping he will, and if he doesn't, I'm still planning on going and attending, because I think there's just going to be a lot of dune buggies there, and I think it's going to be a great event. They announced Carson City, Nevada is not that far away. They announced an event there. I think it's called Buggies and Balloons. They have a big balloon fest there. That's going to be probably really amazing to attend. I've never done any hot air ballooning. I don't know if I'm into hot air ballooning. I'm not a fan of heights. I do still want to go to Tahoe with my buggy and with Brody, and I'm hoping to do that sometime June, July. Sometime this summer, I want to take my buggy up to Lake Tahoe and just kind of hang out and drive around. That was my Pismo 2024 experience. Again, if you're thinking about attending an event, you should. Even if you don't have a dune buggy, if you're thinking about buying a dune buggy, you should attend one of these events, and you'll see just what kind of atmosphere and what kind of community the dune buggy crowd is. It's family friendly. It's anyone interested. So if someone has an open seat and you want to go on a ride, they'll take you on a ride for you to experience it. It might be a little bit bumpier than you expected, but luckily these cars are well built and have, you know, withstand the test of time, and my car held its own and ran good and stayed together and nothing broke, as far as I know. Yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you next time. I'm assuming it's going to be the Big Bear event or Lake Tahoe, so we'll see.